Like, what are we doing?
Corey Graves, the ignorant slut, cannot pronounce the word coup de grace. He says coup de grace.
Welcome back to This is a Takeover. My name is David Hensley. I'm the owner and creative director of Long Walk Productions, and I am here to introduce your host, Shelby Ray Patterson.
Thank you, David, and welcome to Charlotte's only female-led NXT-focused wrestling podcast. This is a takeover. And with me, as always, is my tag team partner on the show and in life, Gina Belmont. How you doing, girl?
Hey, y'all. Hey, what's up? I'm doing pretty good.
Awesome. How have you been?
I've been all right. Just trucking on through. We're so close to winter break. All y'all teachers, I know you feel the same way. Woo!
Do you feel it? Do you feel it with the kids? Like, are they starting to get antsy?
Palpable. It's just in the air. Yeah.
How much longer do you guys got?
Thursday is a half day for us. Friday is a teacher work day. Friday also is my birthday. What?
Yay!
27. I mean, it's not that interesting.
Hey, you're another year older. It should be celebrated.
Valid. You're right.
Especially in the year 2020.
I was about to say, we have almost made it through 2020, so that's what we're celebrating.
Golly.
Oh, man.
Woo! And
what a year.
I'm not going to make you can only, I'm not saying anything because what I have learned from 2020 is that it listens and that it will mess you up if you say something like that.
Yeah,
like,
so don't...
So, you know what? There it goes. Oh, it's gone. It's in the air and it's gone.
Don't make predictions. Don't say it's going to be your year.
Nope, don't.
Just let it ride and just hope to God that it goes your way. Like, that's just the way we're going to live from now on. Like, that's going to be everybody's attitude.
Absolutely.
Which is fine.
Absolutely.
Well, how are you doing, David?
Oh, I'm good. I'm overworked and I'm exhausted. And I am also ready for this year to be over, although I'm not willing to get my hopes up for next year. So I am also on the wait and see train.
And it's not a bad train to be on. I mean, I'm usually like a pretty optimistic, like pretty positive person, but like I feel like this year tries even the most positive person.
It really does.
Absolutely.
And I was not a positive person to begin with.
So you were just fucked from the beginning, is what you're saying.
Watching the spirits of all of my friends slowly crumble as the pandemic went on, it's the only time in my life where my cynicism has ever come in handy because I'm like, yep, I am unaffected by this.
Well, aren't you so lucky? Aren't you just so lucky?
Yeah, that's the word for it.
Jim.
Well, let's just get right into it, guys.
Yeah. So, go.
Well, before we get like really, really into it, I want to know what you're drinking, Gina, because we're not in studio this time. We are at our respective homes again, which is fine, which is dope. It's cool. Yeah. But we were not.
Kind of cool.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm in my my makeshift office area because we're back at home now for work. So now I've turned our second bedroom into my office, but it does have a bed back here. So if I want to take a nap in the middle of the day, it's like I'm on point.
That's pretty fantastic. Not gonna lie.
But since we are not in studio this time, we were not able to visit our lovely friends at Main Street Bottle Shop and get some lovely, lovely drinks. But we provided our own this time from home. Yes. So, Gina, what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking, I'm pretty 100% sure it's a cab, but it is a Love Noir, because the reason why I say I'm wary of it is because the last Love Noir I bought from that brand was not a cab, but it was still a red. I'm pretty sure, my memory serves me, it is a Cabernet Sauvignon, which is from Love Noir. I bought it because, yes, y'all, I bought it because my cat's name is Noir, and it was very fitting. It's delicious.
Good.
So I'm also sporting my brand new, sorry, viewers, you can't see this, or listeners, you can't see this, but it is my new glass that came from my roommate for my birthday, and it is a Dread Pirate Roberts glass that says "As You Wish." So that is
from
my
your
drink
favorite
and glass.
movie.
From my favorite movie.
Love
So
it.
that's what I'm drinking. And Shelby Ray, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, we were talking about 2020 and how it just makes you go for the hard stuff, and that's what I'm doing tonight.
All right.
I am drinking Screwball peanut butter whiskey. And
Peanut butter whiskey.
girl, have you tried this?
You made me try it.
That's what I was about to say. I was pretty
delicious.
sure.
Is that the one with the dog on the front of it?
No, so that was the other brand that I had before. It was called Bird Dog.
So I haven't had the Screwball then.
Screwball is way better. My brother-in-law made me try it, and it is very tasty. But yes, so that is 2020, so I'm drinking whiskey, so it's fine.
But it's like a different type of fun take on whiskey. So
that's true. And David, you have Moe's, right?
Yes. While we were waiting to roll, as I relayed to Shelby, I had an extremely dramatic DoorDash experience. Dramatic and traumatic. So I was going to go to Main Street Bottle Shop and get some beer to drink during this, but instead all I've got is a handy bottle of water.
Hey, that's totally fine. You're still going to drink with us, and that's all that matters. Yes. It doesn't matter what's in the bottle.
And when you get home, I'm sure there is something there for you.
There damn always. Sure is.
Well, now that we have our drinks and we are ready to go into battle, let us talk about war games. As the lovely William Regal always likes to say it. Gina, have you seen the video of all of the NXT superstars just like screaming war games like William Regal?
No, but I did see the compilation. I believe it was Botchamania that did it. That was just all of him going, war games, war games, war games.
So you need to look it up. So listeners, you need to look it up also. It is so funny. It's just all of the NXT superstars and they're trying to imitate or give their best William Regal war games impression. Because if you're not familiar with war games, every year they've been doing it for 4 years now, I think, and every year general manager William Regal comes out and he sets up the at least one of the war games matches, and they're like, there's only one way to settle this, you guys are so crazy, so there's only one way to settle this, and there's a pause. And he goes, war games! And now it's just become a thing. Like, he did it once, the very first time. And it's just, he did it once the very first time, and then now it's just a thing that everybody expects from him. And everybody got so pissed because this year he didn't do it. He did not do it at the setup, so that's why they did the whole compilation thing, because people were so butthurt about it.
Aww.
It was so sad.
Rest in peace to our earphone listeners. I'm so sorry.
Yes, I'm sure we can. I'm sure audio completely spiked during that. But, I mean, we wouldn't be able to call it war games if we didn't do that at least once. Okay. And the listeners will appreciate it, especially if they watch like we do on a normal basis, so they know. So I just want to dive right on into this one because it's a doozy, y'all.
It is. How many pages of notes do you have, Shelby? How many? Can you tell the listeners there?
I may or may not have 11 pages of notes for this.
David just cringed.
Oh, that wasn't a cringe. You've seen me cringe.
I have. That was oh my God.
That was
Shelby, yeah. No, okay, so, I mean, people know, like, I have to write everything down or else I'm going to forget. So a lot of this shit I'm probably not even going to say. It's just to keep me on track.
Exactly, valid.
But, Gina, you know this. Mm-hmm. War Games is my all-time favorite takeover. Like,
absolutely.
It is. So it
like
is up
your other favorite, well, not takeover, but your other favorite, like, pay-per-view is Elimination Chamber.
Royal Rumble, but close.
Royal Rumble?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. So it's Royal Rumble and then War Games. Like, they're super duper close.
I don't know why I thought Elimination Chamber.
No. It's fine.
Excuse me.
Oh my God, I thought you knew me. We're not friends anymore. Oh God, podcast over. We're done. David, wrap it up. We gotta go.
Elimination chamber.
All right. Well, next week we'll be back with Relby Shea and Dina Gelmont.
Oh God, but no. So it's Royal Rumble and War Games are like two of my favorites.
Okay.
And I remember one of the first takeovers I ever saw coming back into NXT land was War Games.
And that was the first thing you showed me.
Mm-hmm.
Was the War Games of 2019, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, 2019.
Which was, whoa.
It was also the first year of the first, it was the first ever women's War Games match was 2019 as well.
Are you serious?
Yes. So the women's War Games match, it's only 2 years old. But the War Games pay-per-view or takeover itself, they brought it back. It was an old pay-per-view like a long, long time ago. And it had like Ric Flair and like all these other like legends that were famous for these matches. And they brought it back 4 years ago, but last year was the first ever women's one.
Dang.
I know, it's crazy.
That's insane.
So I just from
even
like
with the 4 horsewomen, like you know, that's insane. That's insane.
Well, because with the 4 horsewomen, they just introduced the first ever women's Iron Man or the Iron Woman match. That was the first time they'd ever done that with them. That's
true, I guess. Yeah. Definitely.
So War Games, I'm sure all of them are like kicking themselves, being like, "God dang it!" Like, why couldn't we have just stayed a little bit longer? We could have done War Games.
Yeah. Oh man.
But I was just floored by how they got the cages into the Capitol Wrestling Center because
that whole setup,
was
you go
ahead and talk about it. Yeah,
I mean, just that cage. You see that cage? Look, I'm sorry, Hell in a Cell ain't got nothing on that cage. That cage is so dope. It's 2 whole rings combined to cover, and then the whole cage over top of that.
Not to mention the sparks that came out the side.
Sparks! The freaking pyro! Not really pyro. I don't know quite what sparks fall under. Sorry, tech people. I don't know what that falls under. It's not pyro, but whatever. But yeah, like, I mean, the sparks that came out when it started dropping. Oh,
yeah, so for everybody who isn't aware of what War Games is, so War Games are 2 matches, men's and women's, so one at the front, one at the end of the takeover. And what it is you have 2 full-size rings that are pushed together that have like a metal kind of partition in the middle, but just to kind of keep them together.
It comes in play often.
Oh, often, yeah. And what it is there are 2 cages that are lowered down over both of these rings, but there's no wall in the middle dividing the 2 rings. So you have 2 open rings with a cage that's surrounding both of them. And so it's basically like a Hell in a Cell match, but like twice as brutal. It's just
absolutely
crazy. I remember watching it for the first time and just being like, okay, this is definitely why I watch NXT. Because there's no way that they would be able to do something like this on the quote unquote main roster. You know? Like, it's just insane. So I just want to go ahead and jump right into it. Is that cool with you?
Let's go, because we got a lot to cover.
So much. So we start off the takeover with the women's War Games match. We have the team of Toni Storm, Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez, and Candice LeRae versus the team of Ember Moon, Rhea Ripley, Io Shirai, and Shotzi Blackheart. So the way that the War Games match works, I'm going to break it down for you in case you don't know.
Just in case.
So, because it gets a little complicated if you're not familiar with it. So the rule is you have 2 teams of 5, and they start out in separate shark cages. So like the cages that if you are going like Swimming with the Sharks. You know, they like put you in the cage and they lower you down. That's legit what it is. Like they literally put them in that.
I thought that was just your brain thinking of that. No, that makes sense.
No. It's literally the same type of cages that you would go swimming with the Sharks in.
Sick.
Yes. So they each start out. Each team starts out in a shark cage, and one person from each team goes and starts the match. And they open the cage, they let them in, and they close the door. And they have 5 minutes to start the match.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the first 5 minutes, another member from another team is let in. So the week before this happened, they had a ladder match to see who had the advantage.
Yes.
And it was Team Blackheart or Team Shotzi that got the advantage. So then someone from Shotzi's team would come in and make it 2-on-1. So then they would go 3 minutes.
Yep.
And so every 3 minutes, another person from the opposite team will come in. And then that happens until every single team member for both teams are locked inside the cage. And that is when the match officially begins.
Ding, ding, ding.
So there potentially could be 30, at least half an hour.
Yep.
Before the match even starts.
So wow.
Basically they're beating the living shit out of each other for the greater part of the match because it doesn't officially start until everybody's in the ring. So for the two people who start out, it's Dakota and Ember, which I thought were two really good.
I even wrote great for first partnership. Like that's great first set. Like, oh, love it.
Yes. I mean, we love them so much. And also I know I'm just a side note, Shotzi got a new tank and I was so happy.
Yeah, girl, go!
And it was a bigger tank and they could all fit on it and it actually shot out.
Had a little Nerf gun thing that shot out. It was awesome.
It was a little tiny. I missed it the first time, but it was so cute. It was fine.
Oh, it was adorable.
Like
I hear the piss out of Dakota Kai.
Oh, it did. It was great. She had a great reaction to it. But what I noticed a lot, and this was throughout the entire match, like I absolutely hate it when they throw them up against the cage and they just slide down in between the ropes and the cage.
Why?
I don't know. Like it's viscerally.
Because you feel for it, or because
yes.
Like, oh, okay. So that's good. That's the whole point. But yes,
because Rhea did that so much during this match. She literally was thrown up against there and just goes like just so great.
Like, ooh.
Yeah.
Mm.
So they go for the first 5, and it's pretty good, like standard back and forth. Like they're doing a really good job hitting some good spots, but they can't go too hard because they're like, it's the first 2.
You gotta work to it, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta pace yourself. You're the first ones in there. You gotta last the entire time. So then Shotzi comes in next, and she brings in a toolbox,
a crowbar,
and a crowbar. Which at first I'm like, okay, like is she gonna I don't know how she's gonna use these, but it's fine. And I go back.
I pretty knew how she was
right, but I kind of go back and forth with Shotzi because I'm not. Sometimes I like her. Sometimes she's a little. I don't know. Like she. Like for this one in particular, she seemed a little slow. Like she was waiting for like people were like people were waiting for her to do her spots. So they were. To me, that's what it looked like. I mean, maybe I was just like being, as I am sometimes, a little too critical about certain stuff.
I'll be honest, listeners, I didn't see that, but who knows?
We also look at it from 2 different perspectives.
We do.
Sometimes.
I really do love Shotzi. I really do like her. And not to say that I can't give her fair critique when it's necessary, but
yeah. So basically, I'm not going to go through every single spot in this because it's way too long to do.
No.
Even though I wrote down every single spot, but it's fine.
You and me both. I mean, honestly, half of my notes are just this first match. But I will say, go watch this.
It's worth it.
This is stupid beautiful.
Yeah, this is stupid beautiful.
It's stupid beautiful. It's not even fair how look, well, I can't say because I got more to come for this.
Yes.
But
well, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna fast forward through. I'm not gonna go through when each person comes in, but basically everybody gets to come in, and everybody kind of has their own like. Okay, I'm gonna bring in this, and then I'm gonna use this as a weapon. Like
a lot of
time.
sticks.
Oh my god, so many kendo sticks and so many chairs. Like literally everybody just brings in, something to use as a weapon every time. And that's kind of the whole point of war games because everything's legal. The only rule is that you can't climb out of the cage or you can't exit the cage in any way. If you do, you forfeit the match for your team. And they also have the nice, list of rules at the beginning of each match.
They do, and that is so nice because
that is nice.
It's just I was having a discussion about this, and I was talking about how the commentators literally will commentate the correct way. And what I mean is like they actually like will say the rules. It's not a convoluted crap throw of just whatever. But anyway, that's me just getting on Corey Graves, the OG. But
he's just gonna find his way into every single episode that we ever do, isn't he?
He was not even there, and I was still thinking, man, this is so much better.
Such better commentary. Oh my gosh.
I mean, look, it's not just because it's my other husband, but
it is. It's because of it. It's fine. Look, you can say
British accent.
It's fine.
Wrong. Barrett, Wade Barrett. Let's go.
One of my husbands is Irish. I get it.
So back to the match.
Yes. So just like fast forward to when our lovely baby EO enters this match, or let's say tries to enter this match.
For a good 10-15 minutes. I even wrote, Tony, let her in. Holy crap.
Well, first it started with Raquel, and Raquel was just like holding it there. And then Tony takes Rhea's belt, which Rhea took off earlier in the match to just like wail on somebody.
Yeah.
And she ties it shut, like ties the door shut so she can't get in. And then
she locked it, the whore.
Yeah, she locked it, the whore. Like, what? So then Candace comes down, and she's the last one to come in. And, there's chicanery with Indy and, all that stuff. Long story short, Indy locks the door, like, officially with an actual lock so that EO can't get in. But, like, it doesn't really go well for them because they can't win the match unless EO is inside.
And it's brilliant. You see the look on their faces of the realization that their plan has messed up, and it's brilliant. It's so funny.
No,
there's like an actual spot. They're trying to like actually like make like they have somebody, I can't remember who it was, but they've got somebody like, and they're like trying to get them to tap, and they look up and they're like, the ref's going, you can't win, you need, and it's like that look on their face of just, oh,
like all that like planning that we just went through, all the spreadsheets that we just did to try to figure all this shit out. And I think it was Candace. She was trying to pin somebody, and she looked at the ref and was like, why are you not counting? Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And so then that leads to the big on top of the cage spot with EO. And can I just tell you, listeners, that so I was watching this in New Orleans while we were on our honeymoon, and I was an hour behind everybody, which that was a whole debacle in itself, but I won't get into that. So I was watching it, and Gina was ahead of me because I had to restart it. And she was like, just let me know when EO gets in the ring. Just let me know. And I'm like, why? Like, why? Like, what? I mean, obviously she's going to have the high spot because, she's the high flyer. She goes, no, just let me know. Just let me know. And so you see, usually you can tell when like the big high spot is coming because the camera zooms in on everybody, and everybody's in this big circle, and they're all punching each other, and they're all trying to get each other in the center. And then it just zooms in, cuts to EO standing on top of the cage, and she has a trash can. And you're like, what is she going to do with the trash can? And then she looks down, looks at them, proceeds to put the trash can over herself.
Viewers, I wish you could watch Shelby doing this in real time.
Tucks her arms inside and just jumps off the top on top of everybody. And I literally FaceTime Gina in that moment. And you can't see this because this is an audio medium. My face was probably priceless.
Oh, it was beautiful. I wish I had screenshot it. It was so beautiful. And look, and just so y'all know, if anyone else out there is a huge Mick Foley fan, Mick Foley even tweeted, "Well, I've never seen that before."
And that is, if you know Mick Foley, like, that is insane because he has done so much crazy shit on top of cages.
He's
like,
jumped onto tacks. He's jumped onto God knows what.
Lost teeth, broken bones,
multiple brain cells.
But so obviously, like, she jumps off, and then the match can actually officially begin because everybody is inside the cage. So, like, the last 10 minutes are just craziness. And again, listeners, please go and watch this. This is just, I can't even recap everything. But the finish, and I'm about to do something, listeners. I'm about to call bullshit on myself.
Shit. Oh, hold on.
Because
what?
Raquel Gonzalez.
I was wondering when you were going to get to this.
Raquel Gonzalez actually did her job, and she put Io through the ladder, and she won the match. She did. And she pins her.
You know what? I'll go as far to say she has improved.
You know, I wrote down
David's face right now. Huh.
she's growing on me. And
she's done a lot better.
She's done a lot of improvement, and I think honestly it's because she's working with Rhea, and her and Rhea's dynamic is really, really great, and I think they're actually friends in, like, real life, so I think that kind of helps with it too. But, like, oh my gosh, like, I was very happy. I was very happy. I was nervous. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that she was about to throw her, I'm like, oh my God, Io's gonna die. She's gonna die. She's gonna throw her, and her head is gonna hit the ladder, and it's not going to break, and we're going to lose a Io. We're going to lose a baby Io. Like, it's just going to be bad. So
I even wrote, why do you hate your bodies? Why do you hate your bodies?
I mean, seriously though, because we're recording this like a week or so, almost 2 weeks now after, and there has been an NXT TV since then.
Yeah.
And if you guys know of all of the injuries that just the women,
just the women, they don't even. And the worst part, look, I'm gonna say this, y'all. Sorry, I'm gonna have a feminist moment. How many times on this NXT for that Wednesday were all the men being like, "Oh, I had this injury, and oh, I had to go get stitches, and oh, my arm hurts." And then there's the women, and like no one talks about the women being injured.
No, and they just literally, Candace is like, "I broke my arm."
Yeah, and it's like Candace is like, "Look, I'm a splint. Let's go." And then she's in another match.
She is. Fine. She wrestled next week
with
in a splint,
broken arm.
And
my arm slaps, people.
Dakota busts her whole face open because
face.
Ember decides to do the Eclipse to do her face through 2 separate chairs. Like, it's fine.
It was not fine, viewers. It was not fine.
I just thought that was a really, really interesting moment. Anyway, so Raquel puts Io through a ladder and pins her, and Team Candace wins, which I didn't think was going to happen. I honestly
did not.
I was shocked.
Did not. And I'm even more shocked that that she got the pin, that it wasn't somebody else. I was really surprised it was Raquel.
Well, I was surprised that Candace really didn't have as much time in the match because
she was kind of not far off, but she had more distance.
She was the last one to go in.
Yeah.
But she has the most, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say most. I don't want to assume because I don't know everybody's careers, but like from what I've seen, the most hardcore experience.
Yes. Absolutely.
Cut to that video that I sent you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'll put it up. I'll see if I can find the video again and just like repost it onto my Instagram because guys, like there's this video of Candice LeRae and she's literally like beating the shit out of this dude, and she wins and cuts to her face, and she just has a crimson mask.
It's
just like her
blood.
entire face is completely covered in blood, and she's like, yeah, like she's like super into it. So after seeing all of that stuff, I was very surprised that she wasn't involved in more. But I mean, she also broke her arm, and she was only in there for like 10 minutes. So that's about as hardcore as you can ask for.
There you go.
So overall, I mean, I gave this a 3.5. Like,
oh, really?
I did because
I went way higher.
Would you give it a 5?
I gave it a 4.5.
Okay, that's fine.
I did. I said 4.5 frackin' Regals. Holy crap.
Frackin' Regals, not even
frackin' Regals. That's what I put down.
Well,
that match was just awesome to me. So
no, I mean, we can compromise with a 4. That's fine.
4 is fine. I'll take the 4.
We're calling an audible in the ring. We can compromise with a 4. So, I mean, honestly, that first match, I was just like, if I can go home now, you know, like it's fine.
And they kind of screwed themselves with that. Not that it, like the rest wasn't good, but like if the last one and the first one had switched, that would have been it.
You know, I said that when I went back and rewatched it. I was like, you know what? Like, I honestly feel like
first,
it could have worked. It still could have worked.
It would have been perfect. That would have been like, holy crap! Like we ended it on such an incredible note.
Yeah. Well, I think that maybe in a couple of years we'll get to that point when we've gotten to where women can actually main event and can headline things like WrestleMania. Like maybe we can get to the point where the women's War Games will be the headliner, but we're not there yet. So it's still progress. But oh, you know he listens. Oh my gosh, he's one of our top listeners. Like obviously,
absolutely,
he tunes in every time we're on. It's fine. He has a little notification. Pops like, oh yeah, the girls are on.
The girls are talking. Let's go.
Oh man, what if?
That would be grand.
So, okay. So we finish that and we go into a video package and it shows us that my husband is coming back, y'all. He's coming back. Finn's coming back and I was so happy. And I mean, he hadn't relinquished the title, which I was very happy they didn't make him do because literally every single title that he gets, he has to relinquish and it's a curse.
But not just him, like everyone, like if there's an injury or
lately,
they're like nope, just whatever, move on.
Oh, absolutely. So like they were saying
well,
yeah. Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah. But
they showed that, and I mean, I watched on Wednesday, and yes, he is indeed back, and I was very happy. I wore my Finn shirt in honor of him coming back. It was very fun.
She did.
But so we move into the next match, which is Tommaso Ciampa versus Timothy Thatcher. And it's a regular wrestling match. There's no titles. There's no stipulation. It's just a regular match. And
what do you think?
You know, Thatcher's growing on me, but he's not there yet. Like, he's showing me he can hang. He's showing me that he can, and I think Tommaso is a good person to put him with. Yes. Because Tommaso won't match him. Tommaso will make Thatcher match him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
No, it does. It does.
Because like the other people that he's been with, like they've just matched what his style is and what he can do. But I feel like he is good enough that he can do other stuff than just the grappling. And this match did show us that. Because it was more brutal than I've ever seen him be. And Tommaso was at full strength again, which is always great to see. Because he's another one that's just been riddled with injuries and just can't catch a break.
Neck injuries and oh my gosh.
Well, and I wrote that down. I need him to stop with that. I need him to stop with this neck shit. Because he has so many neck injuries and have so many neck surgeries, and they targeted his neck in this match. Yes, and that's when I'm just like, maybe you got to be careful with that shit because your neck is so important.
Like accidental headbutts? I even wrote that. I said accidental headbutt. Like what in the world? Like the what? Yeah,
there was a lot of like throat chopping business that I was like
Yes.
not also okay with because like ow, like
Yeah. What? Why?
but I feel like it told a good story. Like
Yeah.
it continued because like Champa's neck and then later Thatcher's ribs played into
Yeah,
effect.
that's
Like
true. That's true.
I do like when there's a consistent like when they attack, like something happens, like an injury happens, and then they just keep going with it. I do appreciate that because it does show
Continuity.
story. Yeah, continuity, exactly, which I feel like is a lost art form nowadays.
Yes.
But I mean, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
I was going to say, I feel like, and this is just based on, you and I's opinion, because other people have different opinions, apparently, according to the internet and whatnot. Some people really loved this match, apparently. But
I did see that, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it. I think the pace improved a lot.
Yes.
I think that the timing of it, just actually, I guess it is going back to your point that Thatcher like had to meet Ciampa at that level, but I feel like he had to be a lot higher than what he normally is at.
Agreed. Yeah.
And I feel like he had a standard he had to reach. Not that, because Finn's a grand standard, but Finn is one of those human beings that will match someone else. I think to your point that Thatcher had to meet someone else helped him with
absolutely. Yeah, and I think because I wrote this down, I don't know if what happened because Thatcher started bleeding profusely from his ear.
Bleeding everywhere.
So Ciampa hit a running knee and it hit his ear, and I wrote down busted eardrum ?
I don't know if it was the ear, like actual like lobe. I don't know if it was it. I don't think because the eardrum is like, I mean, almost like down through your neck.
I know, but it was coming out of his ear. Like it was weird, but it was a lot. It was a lot of blood.
Look, if it was Vince, they would have found a way to put a blood pack in
his ear.
It was A&W. Sorry. Sorry, I love you, A&W. Sorry.
No, you're right though. You're right.
Am I wrong?
No.
Yeah. No, I don't know because like the other people they were like, oh, we got stitches here, but there wasn't anything about Thatcher Ciampa. Like I don't know. I have no clue.
I mean, that's something that like someone who is a lot more educated in the wrestling world than us can probably answer.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, to me, it looked like I was like, there's blood coming out of the ear, not around it. So it was like, oh, can he hear you? Can he hear you when you call the spots now?
My worst nightmare. Oh my gosh, I could never.
But I mean, overall, like I enjoyed it. It's actually like the first Ciampa match that I've actually really enjoyed watching. Not Ciampa, sorry, Thatcher match. Sorry. I realized once I said it, I was like, nope.
I thought, viewers, I wish you had seen her eyes. It was the face of, I said it. No.
That's not what I meant at all. No. There's a list of Ciampa matches that I've adored. Honestly, the first Thatcher match that I've really enjoyed watching. I was very, very happy with it. Yes. Ciampa goes over with Willow's Bell. And I think there's going to be more story with that. As the week has gone on, we've seen that's not the end of their storyline, which I appreciate and I like. Because it ended and it was still super brutal, but I feel like there's more that can go off of that. So I'm excited to see that. And I'm glad that they could figure out what to do with them. Instead of just like having them be kind of a one and done and kind of fizzle out. Like I'm glad. I'm happy for him that he's, figured it out. And I mean, I gave it a 3. I felt like it was pretty solid.
I wrote a 3 as well.
Yay! There we go. But yeah, moving on. We have Dexter. Yes, we have Dexter Lumis versus Cameron Grimes in a strap match. Now, what do you know about strap matches? Do you know anything about them?
I know that. Okay, look, y'all, look. I know that every time they do them, they suck.
They do.
They
do.
suck. They suck. Every time I
WWE does
see-
not know how to do it.
The last strap match I saw was, oh gosh, was it? No,
It was Fiend Daniel Bryan.
it was. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it because look, listeners, I love Daniel Bryan.
One of
And
your top 5.
So butthurt about that match. So butthurt. So yeah,
it sucked. It really did. It was not great.
So when this came out saying that it was going to be a strap match against Dexter, one of my other husbands, and Cameron Grimes, I didn't know what to expect.
I was scared. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I kind of was like okay, like I knew it would more so be Cameron just flailing, kind of being funny, and then Dexter coming in with some actual chops. But I don't know, like it's still. Anywho, but it was all right. I really thought it was pretty good.
I loved this match. I just love everything about this feud, and I never ever want it to end.
No, when this feud was announced, listeners, we Ted and I lost our minds. Like this was it. This was our So this is such a fun dynamic between these two, and I love that it still is building. It's not just the same like, oh, I'm gonna scare him or whatever. Like it builds every time. And oh my gosh,
I just loved like Cameron Grimes' little ad libs at the beginning. He was like, so listeners, he comes down to the ring and he has his own strap, and because the ref the ref has the official strap, it's in a bag or whatever that they take out, before the match starts. But Cameron comes down with his own, and he just looks at the ref, and the ref is like, what is this? Like, what are you doing? He's like, I brought my own strap. And he's like, like we were like making this joke. It was like Cameron Grimes' voice. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So I made this joke when we were watching. It was like, this was his like ancestral strap. Like he's like, my daddy had this strap, my granddaddy had this strap.
Leprechaun in a tree, say hey.
Exactly. That sounds it's like, we using this strap. And so the ref looks at Dexter and is like, I mean, is it okay with you if we use this strap? And he just stares at him and doesn't say anything. And then the ref
goes, I take that as a yes.
And they start the match. And it's just starting off like that. It's just, that this isn't a regular match. So you can play with shit like that. And it's so much fun. And honestly, like, the main thing that I took away from it is that what they did that the Daniel Bryan Fiend match didn't do was they took care of the strap, like meaning that like when they were wrestling each other, they were holding on to it to be able to do the moves. So like before with the Fiend Daniel Bryan match, they were getting tangled up in it and they couldn't make the spots because they were all tangled. But like with this, they never had that issue. Nope. They even did spots where they like pulled each other with the strap into the barricades or like over the barricades at one point. Like they actually were doing spots with the strap, which I think made it a lot more interesting. But I mean, honestly, again, listeners, like I could go through this like step by step, but like, please go watch this one because to me, this is one of the highlights of the entire show.
Aww.
Because it was such a fun like middle match. Like it was a fun like because you have the seriousness of the War Games match, and then you have like the brutal of the Thatcher Ciampa match, but then you have this silly match that you have in the middle that's also really technically good and just fun to watch. Like he ties like there's at the end, Dexter ties Cameron up, like ties his legs up with the strap and pulls it and Cameron hits his head on the chair, and then that's how he wins.
Oh, that face hit on the chair was nasty.
Yes, because at one point he brings a chair in because it's like a strap match. Is also, there's no rules.
Yeah, never.
You can bring in, weapons or whatever, but like, yeah. I mean, he ties. I don't know. That was such an impressive move to me. He just like pulls his legs out from under him. It's a simple thing. He hits his head, puts a submission on him, and he just, he taps out and he wins.
Yep.
It's just it seems simple, but it was also just like really fun to watch. I really liked it. It was awesome.
I thought it was there was one thing that I did right that was actually from commentary. And I'm gonna go back and like actually watch more Cameron Grimes stuff just because I want to. But Beth Phoenix commented and said Cameron is a technical savage. And I thought that was such an interesting choice of words. I'm going to go back and listen to some more stuff and like watch his stuff. Originally I wrote Beth, no, but like the more I think about it, the more it's correct. And I'm sorry, Beth. I'm sorry. I take it back. It makes sense because he's able to still complete his character work and do the work that he has for this character while still completing these insane moves. I mean, hey, that chair, like that face, like landing in the chair, like I mean some of the freaking slams that he did on Dexter were like the body slam flip in the middle of the ring that he did. I think I wrote down that as a fall away slam. I think that's the technical term.
Hey, look at you!
I'm trying.
You're doing good.
And yeah, it was a beautiful fall away slam from Cameron. I thought that was so interesting, and I had to make a note of it because that's something you don't really hear from like the perspective, like quote the funny wrestler. Yes. Like you don't hear that. You hear like, like
he's silly.
What are they doing? So I bring light to that because Cameron Grimes, you're going straight to the moon with your
yeah. Hey, there you are.
I did the thing. There's the pun. There we go.
To the moon. Well, I mean, Loomis goes over on this, but honestly, I would have been happy either way with this.
You can't go wrong with these kind of matches. You can't.
I'm hoping that they figure out how to keep this going because honestly, I'd be cool with it if it went forever. Like I hope. You never know, but I mean, I don't know. I can't remember if they were on the show last week or not, but like, I hope that they just keep this on the back burner just in case whenever we need a good laugh. Like it's perfect. I mean, I gave it a 3. It was pretty solid.
Yeah, I think I gave it 3.5, but 3, I'm fine with a 3.
Yeah, really good mid card. I feel like.
Yes.
Also, they had a little vignette where they showed that Karrion Kross might be coming back. And then they did show that he was back on NXT TV the following week. And I am so proud of myself. I called this from a mile away.
You
because
did.
I'm not going to lie. I definitely troll wrestlers on Instagram. Not troll. Troll's the wrong word.
You stalk.
I stalk. Yeah.
Polite form of stalking, but yes.
I stalk from afar. Like I don't contact or anything.
Yes.
I just like to watch. It's fine.
That's how stalking always starts.
I was just gonna say that, David. That's literally the definition of stalking.
Very few people like automatically jump straight to like outside somebody's window.
But then girl. Okay, but then why did they invent Instagram? Like, if it wasn't for me to stalk from afar, like that's exactly what it's made for.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Anyway, I'm not in the wrong here. It's fine. So I follow Karrion Kross and Scarlett on Instagram, and Karrion had been posting like all of these like workout videos of him just like really going at it. And I'm like, okay, well, obviously that means that he's recovering very well. Because for people who don't know, he beat Keith Lee for the NXT championship. And then Keith Lee moved to Raw, I think. And immediately after, like literally the NXT TV after, he had to relinquish the title because during that match he like literally tore all of the tendons in his shoulder during that match.
It was awful. It was
But
awful.
I
it
mean,
was within the first 10 minutes of the match.
It was, and he went for
awful.
like a good 30, 35 minutes. It was insane.
It was nasty.
And I hated it for him so bad because of this first.
We didn't even see anything.
No.
Like, you and I are pretty good with seeing that kind of crap, but nope, nothing.
I still can't tell you when it happened. So
no idea.
I felt so bad because it was his first outing, like his first shot at the title, first run at anything, really. Yeah. And they just fast-tracked him right as they should have because he's awesome. But he has to relinquish it and then just goes away. And then, stuff happens, and then now Finn has the title. And it was just, I was like, you know what? He's coming back at War Games. He's definitely going to come back at War Games.
You nailed it.
They started playing the video package, and I literally just start hitting the couch. I'm like, I told you. Like, I was so happy. And he didn't come back at War Games. He came back the week after that, but I was close.
You called it, girl.
I did. I was so proud of myself. But anyway, he's back, and I'm very happy about it. And I think he's got a feud with Damian Priest going on, which I'm very happy about. But yeah, so that sets us up for the.
Oh, but wait.
Yes.
Wait. You forgot. The coolest part.
What did I forget?
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm being facetious. There was a very odd little segment about the War Games playset. Yo, I want this playset.
Okay, so apparently
War Games playset.
I don't know if it's Mattel or whatever, but so basically, if you're familiar with WWE at all, you see these like advertisements that are targeted for like kids' toys and stuff, and they have the action figures, but for the specialty matches, they have like the ring that has like the setup for like a Hell in a Cell match or like something like that. But now they have a War Games setup where it literally has the 2 cages and the 2 rings, and there's chairs and there's kendo sticks and there's other weapons. It's really, really cool. So yes, Gina, I'm glad that you brought that up.
I do want it though. I have no idea where I'm going to keep it.
So now I know what to get you for Christmas, is what you're saying.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas to you.
Look, you know that's going to be like so overpriced. Don't buy.
Oh my gosh! Can you even like no? Like
I'm imagining like the $50, $60, $70 like maybe if not more range. Like don't do it.
Has to.
But
yes, they show us that, and they set it up on the announce table.
We're playing with it. It was nice.
It was they were cute. It was fine. So then after that, we go to the North American Championship match, which is a triple threat match between Damian Priest, Johnny Gargano, and Leon Ruff. Yes, David.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt for a moment. You can get the War Games NXT ring playset exclusive for the low price of $94.99.
What? Like almost $100?
Y'all know that's some cheap plastic.
No.
That's some cheap. No.
Thank you, David. Thank you for that.
No, I'm angry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna get you that, but that's a lot of money.
Don't. That ain't that cheap plastic. That ain't even worth it.
I know. Okay. Well, so
Gargano Priest versus Ruff.
So I love this story because
so fun.
This is what you do with your back roster.
Yes.
Like so, Leon Ruff. For those of you who don't know, he literally signed his NXT contract 2 months ago.
Did he really?
He literally signed his contract 2 months ago.
And his wife is a ref, right?
Well, his fiance, they just got engaged.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
But whatever, it's the same thing. I did the same thing when I was engaged. I was like, yeah, he's my husband, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. You're in that short period of time when you're engaged, it's like saying fiance just sounds so weird. It's like just go from boyfriend to husband, like it's no big deal. So I love this story so much because basically what happens is Johnny Gargano wins the North American title off of Priest at Halloween Havoc. And there's this awesome Halloween Havoc match that was really, really fucking good. And definitely go back and watch that, guys. Like, it was really good. So he wins it, and there's this basically this whole thing where Johnny cannot defend a title because he loses it at the first time he ever defends it. Like, that's just a thing that he does, and honestly, that's canon. Like, it checks out.
It is absolutely, like, go look at his title, like, whatever. Go Google
his stats. Yeah.
Like, thanks. That's the one.
I knew that's what you were looking for.
I was going to say, I don't know. Anyway.
So if you look at his stats, you see, like, every single title that he's ever held, including the tag titles, like, he loses at the first attempt. So, or the first defense, I guess. So they're making this whole joke about it the week after Halloween Havoc, and he's like, oh, you know what? I'm going to be the person that's going to defend it every single week because this isn't a curse. And I'm not jinxed or anything. So he brings out this wheel, which is an allusion to, the Halloween Havoc wheel. And he's like, oh, I love wheels. This is great. This will be in my favor. So he spins the wheel, and it lands on Leon Ruff, who in all everyone's eyes is a jobber. And this is like his way. And you could tell it was weighted. Like, you could tell.
Weighted. Yeah. You can tell that it's been rigged in a certain way.
Absolutely. You can tell it's been rigged to land on Ruff, and he comes out and he beats Johnny for the title.
Yeah. So this man is maybe 100 pounds soaking wet. Like,
if.
But he is such a beautiful technical worker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame them for giving him such an amazing, title run within 2 months. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
He is such a good worker. I really enjoy. I've been always a fan of the underdogs. That's just kind of like Daniel Bryan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I watched him, he was the pinnacle of the underdog at that time. But yeah, I love Ruff. I think he's so fun.
He's fun.
Line is fun.
And and usually for the North American title, historically, it goes to bigger guys.
It does.
And so to see little baby Leon, who comes out and he puts the title belt on him, and it drops down when he lets go of it, like, because he's so skinny, he has to wear it as like a sash, instead of an actual belt. I mean, I think it means a lot, and it means a lot for the cruiserweight division as well, because you have a guy who's a cruiserweight who, can beat someone like Johnny, like, and actually win legitimately and not have a lot. I mean, they're trying to allude to chicanery, but it's really not that much going on. Like, he actually does win it, like, fair and square.
Yes, he does.
But, like, Damian puts his nose in it, and that's why we have a triple threat. But, like, I enjoyed this. I mean, I was a little disappointed in the way that they used Leon in this match, because
I can agree with that. Yeah.
Basically, what happens is they put on a clinic. Like, it's a really, really good match as far as triple threat goes. And then all of a sudden, Damian, does Razor's Edge on Leon through the barricade, which, poor jobber who knocked down the wrong wall. Did you see that?
Man. Yeah. I was wondering who the heck those people were. I was like, y'all are employees, aren't you?
They were back roster people, and I mean, basically what happens is, like, Leon goes through the right barricade, but I think that barricade wall was set up to also fall, and the guy backs into it, and it just falls. And there's no way for them to cut it out of frame, so they have to replay it.
You gotta just
over and over and over again. So, but, like, he does that move and throws him to the barricade, and he is taken out of the match. So it essentially is just between Johnny and Damian. And I was kind of like, okay, like, this could go good. This could go well. Like, he could come out and he could be, like, fighting, be like, nah, I'm okay, guys. Like, no, I can win. Like, I can come out and wrestle still. But they didn't do that. They literally just had him run back out and start wrestling again. And I felt like that was kind of a missed opportunity with him. Like I enjoyed it. I feel like it went a little long, but I don't know. I just that kind of really just I don't know. It messed it up for me. Like the flow of it just messed it up, and I felt like he didn't really show us his full potential as champion.
Like overall, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I liked the incorporation with the ghost faces. You know,
I even wrote, I said, how many are there? What the heck, dude?
There were 6. I counted. I made sure to go back and count. There were 6 of them.
Oh, but it's coming, Shelby. Are you ready? Yeah. We'll get to it later. Keep going. Keep going.
You know what? I'm gonna be the bigger person, and I'm gonna talk about it. Okay, I'm gonna be the one that's gonna say it. So we fast forward, toward the end, and all the ghost faces are coming around, and basically the ghost faces are now Johnny Gargano's henchmen since Halloween Havoc, and because they helped Candace, they helped Johnny, they did this whole thing with them. So we found out that one of them was Indy Hartwell, which is now Candace's lackey, but we still weren't sure who Johnny's was. So we have this one particular ghost face who comes out with a lead pipe and, hits Priest and knocks him out essentially, which makes Gargano go over. And Gargano wins and becomes 3-time North American champion, which I wasn't upset about. I love Johnny, but at the same time, I kind of wish that they would have pushed Leon a little bit more.
I agree. Yes.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed. I mean, I love me some Johnny. He's in my top 5, but
even if it had been Priest, I would have liked to have seen Leon Ruff and Johnny go for longer. It'd been you took this from me kind of thing. I don't know. Yeah. I think that would have been more fun.
I don't know what they're going to do with him now, honestly. I don't know.
I don't want him to go back and hide. I don't want him to.
I don't know. He wasn't on NXT TV this past week, so I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with him. But, I mean, it led up to, which I'm going... I wish you guys
could see my shit-eating grin right now.
So,
David, are you ready? David, prepare yourself.
So... the ghost face, the lead ghost face, comes and stands next to Johnny as he's holding his title, and he takes off his mask. And it's Austin Theory, whom I hate.
She hates him. Hates him with a passion.
He's such a douche, y'all. He's such a douche. The definition of, a frat boy that's at the party and likes to prey on women. He is that type of douche. And I just don't... He gives off a really bad vibe, and I know that's a character choice. I'm sure he's a very nice human being. But, that is
you cannot say that with any convincing whatsoever.
I'm trying, okay? Can you give me some credit? Can you give me a little bit of credit here? But I will give him some credit because he did do a really funny line, and he took off his mask and he looked at the camera and he said, "It's me, Austin." And that's an homage to the awesome Vince McMahon quote of "It was me, Austin." And it was very clear.
Cried, y'all. I cried.
It was very clear that it was supposed to be a reference to that. And now Kim and Johnny and Candace and Indy are now in a stable together, and I don't hate it, okay? I don't hate it. I still don't like him, but I don't mind it. That's all I'm going to say.
The first time I heard him say it, I started crying. I was laughing so hard, genuinely. Yeah. It was so good. I was mad, and then I wasn't, and then I was mad again.
Well, you were mad because it was good. That was what I was feeling in that moment. And I mean, honestly,
I even wrote, "That's a freaking great joke, and I'm not even mad it's him now."
Yeah. I hope that, he will prove me wrong in the future, and I won't get, weird creepo vibes from him. But
Yeah.
who's to say? I like
mean, well, I'm not gonna say something about, but yeah, it seems to go down the path of a similar.
yes.
Yes. Yes.
And listeners know, you should know by now, I love to hold grudges on wrestlers. I love to hold grudges on them. I really do. So it'll be fun. I'll have fun watching it, and it'll be fun. But he still gives me the creeps. So
All
there we
right.
are. So I gave it a 3 because it was still solid. What we saw, I wish that they would have pushed Leon a little bit more. That's why I didn't give it higher. But
Oh, did I not actually? Oh, well, darn. I thought I had typed out the actual Regals, but I guess I did not. I wrote Regals semicolon, but yeah, I agree. 3.
yes. So then we are now at our main event.
The final countdown match.
So this is the men's War Games match. So just like the women's, just with the men. So we have the Undisputed Era, which is Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, Bobby Fish, and Adam Cole, versus Pete Dunne, Oni Larkin, and Danny Burch, which you are the tag team champs, and Pat McAfee. So just the lead up to this match, I feel like was really great. I don't want to dog on Pat. I really don't, because I feel like that's the easy way to go. He did impress me during this match, but I was still very excited about this because I love Undisputed Era. You know how much I love Adam Cole.
You do. Your husband. Your husband.
My other husband, Adam Cole. I think am I at 3 at this point? Have I rivaled with you?
You cannot judge me anymore. I
cannot.
3.
I cannot. I have 3 as well. It's fine. So I mean, on paper, like, obviously this is going to be great. Like, you have Undisputed Era, who has been in every single War Games match ever in NXT history and has won, over 50% of them now. So, like, it's going to be good. Like, all of these, all the stars are aligning for this to be good.
Yep.
So we start with Pete Dunne and Kyle O'Reilly as the starters for this match, which, again, another great start. Like, you have...
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
However, what the hell were those dance moves that Kyle O'Reilly was doing when he was coming down?
Oh, that's what he always does, hon.
There was something weird about him this time. It seemed like he was like I don't know. It was weird. I was looking at him like, Kyle, you good? Like, you okay?
No, he always does the air guitar thing. That's his thing.
No. There was like some weird like arm movement crap. Like, he was trying to like, it looked like he was combining like normal punches with like dance moves. It was weird. I don't know. I wrote it down, but weird.
Maybe he took too much pre-workout like beforehand. Like, maybe he was just real hyped up.
You know what? Who knows? Who am I to judge?
I mean, honestly though, after the Finn match that Kyle had, I really like him. Like, I feel like
he finally, yeah. Y'all know my feelings about Kyle O'Reilly. I look, he's a wonderful human. He needs some more concrete like character work.
Is he white for the sake of being white? Is that what you're saying?
White for the sake of being white.
But I feel like he has more depth now. I feel like he has a lot more character development now that he has had his face broken by Finn.
Yes, I feel like that's the start. I feel like it could go more, but not with injury. But I just mean like there can be more development. I'm just waiting for Undisputed Era to do some breaking up crap. I'm just waiting for it. I'm ready. I'm ready. I know you are not. I am. So.
As long as they stay on NXT, I'm fine with it.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not saying they go up anywhere else. I'm just saying I want to see them start, like, pulling crap behind the scenes where they're, like, getting each other, like, random. Yeah. I am on team turn on each other. So.
They've been teasing that shit for a while, though. So I think it will happen eventually. But I felt like him and Pete together were really good, and this is just the child in me. Wade Barrett kept saying BJJ during commentary when he was talking about him, and I was like, what is BJJ? Like, what is that? It's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And my child ass brain just went to like, what else could he be talking about? Like, I was like, why is he a master of BJJ? Like, why does that matter?
Also,
And-
my walrus noise. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Sorry, that was like at my.
That was just a little thing that I wanted to comment on that.
Yeah.
Well, he started off as a master of HJJ.
There it is. Ding, ding, ding.
See, and this is why we have our producer David, who can comment and just come in with these zingers whenever we need them.
That's literally all I'm good for.
Hey, that's why we love you, dear.
No.
That's why we love you.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm with the women's. Same with the women's. I'm not going to break down each and everything, but again, this is one that you should definitely go watch. There was also a lot of injuries that also came out of this match, which is very common when it comes to War Games matches. Because again, there's no rules. There's weapons involved. There's chairs. There's kendo sticks. There's tables. Like, there's just a lot of stuff going on. The main thing that I wanted to hit on that happened during the match, though, was, and I know this is a character development, and I understand this, but I am a technical person that likes to look for technical things, but I also get worked every once in a while, and I acknowledge that.
Did you get worked? Which one?
So, there were moments when Pat McAfee, he was trying to go into the match, and everybody was stopping him from going into the match. Because he eventually goes in last,
Yes.
right?
Yes, he does.
But, like, he, even from the very beginning, after Pete goes in, he wants to be the first one to come out, and everybody's like, nah, man. Like, I'll go. It's fine. And I got so mad. I was like, really? He thinks he's going to be the next one to go in? Like, no. Like, I legitimately got, like, upset thinking, like, he really thinks, like, this is his second match ever. Like, he really thinks that he's going to come in second during War Games? Like, who the fuck are you? Like, I got so upset.
Know your place.
And I acknowledge I got worked. It's fine. That's how I was supposed to feel.
Good job.
And dogs, if you're listening, I acknowledge that I got worked. And sometimes I can't do that. I can't acknowledge when I'm...
We're going to put that on the board there.
Yep, we'll put it up there, and he'll be very happy that I said that. But
yeah.
But it was just, I thought that was actually a really fun moment when I look back on it, because obviously he's not going to go in. He's going to go in last because this is his second match ever.
And they don't want him getting hurt because yada, yada, yada.
Right. So the last... The reason why Gina's laughing is obviously you can tell why she's laughing, because he did get hurt. It's fine. So, but I thought it was a good touch because, like, he's captain, you know, quote unquote captain of the team, and they're like, nah, man, like, you stay back. Like, we'll do this for you, captain. Like, you know, we'll do that. And I appreciated it because it kept me into it, and it got me angry, which is what it's supposed to do. But honestly, like, it was good. Like, it was really, really good, and everybody had good spots. And what else did you think about it?
So there were a couple of things that I wrote, and I'm going to come back to, like, one of the other points, but I had really hoped this, because you know my guesses about things.
Yes.
My hope had been, I really wanted McAfee to chicken the hell out and start climbing up the cage, and to watch everyone dissolve in the group to be like, to turn on him. Like Scar and the hyenas. I had really wanted that to happen.
That would have been a really good story, actually.
Fun.
Yeah.
Right? Look, listen. Triple H.
You're listening, I know.
I'm really good at this. I've got a lot. I got EO. I got all sorts of stuff. Like I got a lot of things. I got you. Let me help you. Help me help you. Yes. But I wrote that down. That was one of the things. And then I'm sorry. I know I don't mean to shout out to a lot of things, but we do watch Botchamania as well. And that one spot where they tried really hard to put I'm pretty sure it was Dune and then it was Dune. I'm gonna call it Dune. His name is Dune.
It's fine. I acknowledge it. It's Dune now. It's fine.
They try to push him through the table, and of course, it did not break at all.
No, it didn't.
It did not. And so, of course, at the exact same time, like we screamed, "I am the table!" So
of course you did. Of course you did.
Shout out. But yeah, overall, this was a pretty good match. There was just one thing that bothered me, but I'll come back to that later because it will tie into something later on. But yeah.
Well, I will say one of the things that really stood out to me, because I know, like, Adam Cole comes in last.
Yes,
which
he does.
I will say, in the past, Adam Cole has been the standout for me during these War Games matches because he is notoriously... He really is. And I mean, you go back and look at him in his like ROH and like in other independent brands, in those days, he really is brutal. Like, and all of these guys, savage. Like all of them are savage. And so he always has the standout. Like last year, he had him and Tommaso had the spot where they did the air raid crash off of the top between the two tables. Like, and he did the spot, with other people, like always off the top of the cage. So, of course, I was expecting him to do the top cage spot. And that didn't happen this year. And in the moment, I was mad because Pat McAfee was the one who did the high spot. And what he did...
Hilarious? Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, what he did was he did a moonsault off of the top of the cage onto the crowd of people. Now, I'm not going to say that is not impressive. It is impressive, especially from someone who is not a trained wrestler who's been in the ring for 10 plus years, like all of these other guys who are in the ring with him. I'm not saying it's not impressive, but I don't think that he should have gotten that spot. I feel like a moonsault off of the top rope would have still been just as good. I felt like that spot should have been to one of the people who have trained a lot longer and have had a lot more experience than him. Now, I get it. He is a, quote unquote celebrity wrestler, right? So they're going to give him these spots because he wants them. He's a fan. He loves the business. Like, it's very evident because he does train and he does do a really good job at what he's been given. And I'm not disputing that. But, like, to me, it felt like, okay, so the only high spot that you're going to have during this main event War Games match is with him, and it's just a moonsault off the top?
See, so here's the thing I wanted to ask you, because what I wrote down was a swanton. So what is the difference between a moonsault and a swanton? Because I thought it was a swanton off the top.
From what I know, from my knowledge, a moonsault is like what Io Shirai does. Like when she is standing backwards and she does a backflip onto everybody. A swanton is when you are running and you literally go and you land back first onto your opponent.
Oh, why did I write swanton?
I don't know. Maybe they said that on commentary. I don't know.
You know what? They probably did. That's probably why I wrote it down. Because a lot of the stuff I learned earlier, I did hear from commentary, and I paused it and I wrote it down. But yeah, so it's funny you said that about the whole going up top. I actually called that it was going to be McAfee at the top.
Oh,
I had a sick feeling. I was like, it's going to be him. I mean, look, that's what everyone everyone wants to see. Yeah. So I had a feeling it was going to be McAfee, but I agree. I feel like they have a lot of money. a lot of insurance. You know what I mean? And they don't even really pay insurance, but whatever.
So what you're saying is if he wants to put his body on the line and put
you
his
go
hand
right
there,
ahead. You go
sure.
right ahead, boo boo. You
No,
go right
that's
ahead.
that's
He's got
I'm
enough insurance money and he all fine. So he
I'm
wanted her to
still
go ahead.
I'm still your word. That's valid. That's valid. No, it's true because but it was just weird to me because it was midway through the match. Like
It wasn't even like 3/4 of the way in. It was like it was so
because
odd. It was such
there was a
different
lot
spot.
of there was a lot of other stuff that happened. Like I know this is backtracking a little bit, but I did enjoy when Pat came into the ring. When he entered, he brought in 4 tables.
4.
And each table had a name of the Undisputed Era on the table.
Ooh,
and
so cool.
It was cool. It did take him a while to get those tables into the ring. It did take him a
They didn't want
while.
to help him. They did not want to.
No, nobody helped him.
Dude,
Nobody helped him at all.
Like Dunn looked like, whatever, mate.
Well, that is his MO, that's for sure.
Whatever, mate.
But yeah. I mean, overall, I feel like again, listeners, we're not even touching half of what happened.
Oh no.
But like, I mean, there's a lot that happened. Please go back and watch this. But like, I want to hate Pat, but
he's growing. I'm sorry, he's growing on me.
He needs to have more matches, in my opinion. He needs to be on NXT TV and wrestle. He needs to because this is literally his second match ever. The only other
pay-per-view as well.
It was NXT 30 versus Adam Cole. So that was 2 takeovers ago.
Yeah.
When he last wrestled. And that's why I was a little kind of wary. I'm like, really? Your second match ever is going to be War Games? Like, War Games is the most brutal match of the entire year.
Pretty intense.
It is. And it was. And it was a great match. I mean, I was very happy with the finish. I will say, and I'm not going to keep harping on about Pat. I'm not going to try to keep harping on him. But he kicked out of Adam Cole's finish, and I was pissed about it.
You were. I could have felt that from Louisiana. Yep.
I'm just saying, you haven't earned to be able to kick out of a finish yet.
And then haven't earned it yet. And then to have Adam go limp on one of your punts. Yeah, right. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, no, whatever. I mean, thank you, baby Adam, for going along with that. But at the same time, like
whatever.
He hasn't deserved to kick out of your finish yet. But whatever. So the ending, I was very happy with. I'm glad it was Kyle. So Kyle hits the flying knee with the chair onto Oni and wins the whole match for them, which I was very happy with because I liked that for both the War Games matches, the person who won it, you weren't expecting. Because you were expecting one of the team captains to win the whole match, and that's not how it went. So you had Raquel win for the women, and you had Kyle win for the men. And I don't know, I appreciated it. I thought it was really fun, and I like that Kyle is getting more of a push. And I think that that's going to do him real favors in the future.
Yeah.
So, I mean, overall, I gave it a 3.5. I mean,
I did 3.5 as well.
In the moment, I gave it a 4.
Could you stop? Like, we're not even together, and we're still. I wrote 4, and then later I changed it to a 3.5.
See, so viewers and listeners, we usually watch all of these together.
But we did not exchange any notes. We were not together. Mm-hmm. We were behind. We were, you were across the country.
Well, I mean, across the country.
You were far, far away from me. So
I was in multiple states away from you.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I felt like it was a good finisher. Apparently,
it definitely wasn't as good as the first one, though.
No, it wasn't, and I felt like, again, like we talked about at the beginning of the show, like we could have switched.
Yes,
we could have switched, and it would have been okay. Mm-hmm. Like, but I don't think we're there yet. I think we'll get there eventually.
You'll learn, right, Hunter? You'll learn, right?
Hunter, you'll learn. It's okay. You know your women are great. You've been touting this for years. But
Here.
so yeah, that's the end of the takeover.
Yeah.
Like overall, I gave it a 3.
Yeah.
Like I
I
felt
gave
like
it 3.5, but yeah.
oh wait, did I? No, I gave it a 3.5.
Ah, okay. I was gonna say.
I did. I gave it a 3.5. I felt. I mean, again, this is my favorite takeover of the entire year.
So much fun.
It's so much fun. I mean, there was only one match that was a regular match. That was a regular wrestling match, and that was the Tommaso and Thatcher match. Like every other one had some sort of stipulation, and that always makes me happy.
Yeah.
When you have a takeover or a pay-per-view that really lives up to the name, like when you have one of those shows that it says, oh, okay, it's War Games, so we have War Games matches, we have these type of matches. It's not just one Hell in a Cell match and then the rest are normal. You know, like you actually have a takeover or a pay-per-view that keeps you entertained with all these different kinds of matches, and that's why I loved this one a lot.
Yeah.
So 3.5, hands down.
Absolutely.
So
are we here?
We are here.
We're here.
So now we are at our segments, and you know what? This has become such a fun part for me. And I literally, when I start watching, I'm literally like, okay, who's gonna be my ignorant slut? Like, who's it gonna be? Like, I get so excited whenever I watch.
You're gonna be mad at mine. I'm sorry. You're gonna be mad at mine.
I'm gonna be mad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. So again, for listeners who are just tuning in, like this is the only part of the show that we don't talk about. So we don't know who's going to be who's what. So we have our ignorant slut. So basically our person who really just messed up completely, or who we just didn't think really showed up to work, you know?
Yeah.
For NXT, it's kind of hard sometimes because everyone really...
And that's, yeah, but I'll go into detail about that later. Yeah.
Well, everybody really shows up, so it's kind of hard sometimes, especially with the last one, it was very hard for us to pick one.
It was.
But then we have our EST. So EST is like our MVP, right? So I feel like it's always fun to start with the ignorant slut because I want to end on a positive note, right? So Gina Belmont, who is your ignorant slut this time?
It is the sweet baby boy, Kyle O'Reilly.
No, why?
I freaking knew. Viewers, listeners, she almost just spat out her whiskey.
No,
why? And this is why. It was not, and I'm gonna put this as like an asterisk. So I don't know if this was like a him choice or if this was a editor choice. But there was a part because they got, I don't remember. Anyway, Kyle O'Reilly comes into the ring and he's like talking crap to Dune. And it was him, and I think it was Bobby Fish. And y'all, this was sad to me. This made me upset. I wrote this down and went, what the hell is this? He goes, oh, you want to come and get us? Here's your effing chance. Look, you're going to go for it? Go for it. You're going to say it? Say it. Or talk to the editor. Because, look here. Come on, honey.
I'm raising my hand. Raising my hand. So the moment that you're talking about, which I'm glad you're actually bringing it up because I wanted to talk about it. It was when he was talking to Pat McAfee.
It was killing me.
And so he looks at Pat. He looks at Pat and he goes, "You want to be a wrestler, Pat? This is War Games. Here's your effing chance." Like, so I liked that, but you didn't like it.
The development was there. He was strong. He was there. He was ready. And then he goes, here's your effing. He could have still said effing chance. But they could have blurted out and made him sound like, ooh, whoa, he's going at him. You know, I don't, like, if you want to build up your people, you want to build him up to have this really boss moment, my God, let him have it. Like, I don't know. It was, but I will go ahead and say it was very, very hard to find anything that like truly bothered me. So this is not that like it's gonna keep me up at night, like that I'm bothered about and like angry about. Like,
Right.
thing that I kind of was like, really, like, really? Like, okay, I guess. Like,
I can see that.
it was never for any of his wrestling moves or choices. His wrestling moves and technique are beautiful. I just felt that written either he improved it or just something that, I don't know. It was weird. It was weird to me, and his dance moves were weird to me. Sorry.
So listeners and viewers, like, go back and I mean, obviously go back and watch it, but like the part that she's talking about, he goes on for longer.
A long time.
And he riffs for a while, and you can tell that it is improv, and Pat is just staring at him like, okay, are you done? Are you done yet? Now I can go? Okay, yeah. So I can appreciate that. I can.
I truly don't know. I'm gonna put Ignorant Slut as Kylo Relly / editor team because even as an editor, like you can sit there and go, oh, okay, he's about to say this word. You could have just made him sound more cool, even if he had said, butterfly chance. Like what? Like you could have, he could have made it sound cooler. But anyway, that's just my preference. If he's gonna go hard, try to go hard. Like, you know what I mean?
Strong but wrong, right?
Strong but wrong. Strong but wrong. So that is my ignorant slut of the War Games 2020.
Okay. Well, I have an honorable mention, and I have the actual ignorant slut. So my honorable mention. My honorable mention is the sweet baby jobber who knocked the wall over by mistake. If I tell you that I went back and I watched that moment so many times and just laughed. Like I feel so bad for him because it's very clear, even though he has a mask on, you can tell by the look in his eyes that he was not supposed to do that. And I had to give it to him a little bit, like obviously that wasn't supposed to happen and you tried, but you couldn't hide it even with a mask face on, so I had to give him an honorable mention for sure.
Well, yep.
But my ignorant slut for War Games is Leon Ruff.
Really?
Yes, and it's hard for me to say. I am a little heartbroken because I was very happy with the way that they were building him up. But honestly, the match was better without him. And he kind of got outshined a little bit, in my opinion.
Do you think that's because they've had so much tension together, the two of them, Johnny and before? So it's like he's being thrown into this just trying to like fit in?
Oh, absolutely. And I feel like, I mean, it's not 100% his fault.
Yeah.
But to me, that was the only, I don't want to say dark spot, but the not so bright spot in the entire time, the entire takeover was because he got outshined. And it's hard because you're put with someone like Johnny and with someone like Damien now, who has risen to the same heights as Johnny. And so it's hard when you're put in a triple threat match to shine when you have these two huge stars. But to me, like he just didn't do it for me. And the fact that he didn't go over also didn't help.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, so unfortunately, Leon Ruff is my ignorant slut.
Nice.
But Gina, who is your EST of War Games?
So I'm torn, and I actually, you know what? I guess I'll put it in the category of honorable mention. The honorable mention for the EST is the brand new tank that Shotzi rolled out. Yes! That tank was sick, dude.
It was.
It was awesome. Mm-hmm. But my overall EST, I mean, it's so obvious. It's gotta be Io Shirai the trash can. There's nothing better than watching this woman hold this trash can and then go, no, I'm gonna put it over my body and then jump on him. Like, there's nothing. There's nothing. That is my EST. And the fact that she just nailed it, yeah, it was beautiful. It was great.
Yeah.
That is my EST of War Games 2020.
Agreed. No, that was a very great
you
moment.
you can't beat a trash can.
You can't beat a trash can. No, you're right.
You can beat a trash can, but you can't beat the trash can.
You're right. Absolutely. That's definitely going to be a moment in 2020 wrestling history that everybody's going to look back on.
Mick Foley. Mick Foley. The man who died 7 times and is still alive somehow. Said that he had never seen that before. So there we go.
Well, at least she can go to bed happy knowing that for sure.
I hope she does. I hope she has a wonderful break.
I hope so. Well, so
and yes, Shelby, yours.
Yes. So I had an honorable mention for both this time. Because it was hard for me to choose. My honorable mention is Pete Dunne because he carried that team
a lot of the way. And look, it's so hard for me to look at him because I just want him to go and shower and like take off that orange.
The fake tan is it's a lot. It is a lot. He
looks like an orange rock from the desert.
He does. And, there's a lot of people on that roster who do a really good fake tan. So I need them to take him aside and be like, hey, here's what I do. You know, like.
He saw Sertans a lot.
You're right.
Talking to Sertans a lot.
Sertans a lot is a ref. For
beautiful
listeners
ref.
Who don't know, he's a beautiful ref, but like he definitely deserves the name Sertans a lot because he definitely.
Yeah, Banana Boat don't help him.
No, it doesn't. So Pete Dunne was my honorable mention because I feel like he just carried his War Games team. He was the first one in. He was, still an active player even toward the end. Like he's just such an impressive wrestler to me, and I there is a possibility that it could be him and Finn, going for the title, which I'm very excited about. So yeah, he's my honorable mention. My EST of War Games is Dakota Kai.
Really?
Yes.
You have a big heart for Dakota Kai.
I do, but like especially after this, because not only did she carry her team, but she took a beating during this. Like, not only did she have, the ending of her whole War Games match was having the eclipse through the double chairs, but that was the end of it. Before that, she had kendo sticks. She had a sledgehammer to her stomach and her face.
Oh, I almost forgot about that. Yes.
Yes. So
nastily almost killed her. DED dead.
DED dead with the sledgehammer.
Oh.
Like she literally took so much of a beating during the entire match, and her team still won.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like she's an unsung hero. So like,
yeah, I'll give you that.
To me, she deserves all the credit, and I feel like this was such a good showing for her, and I really hope, because I know Raquel technically pinned EO, so now Raquel has a shot at the title, but I really am hoping that Dakota eventually will get a shot at the title, because she is so resilient and like just took a beating for her team. I mean, her and Candace both broke bones for this team. And I feel like, again, if this shows from the last episode, if you break a bone, you're probably going to be in my EST. Like, it's just going to happen.
Method actor. No, I'm joking.
I mean, isn't wrestling like the ultimate method acting? Like, just saying.
You're right.
But so, I mean, yeah, that takes us to the end. I feel like this was a really fun one, and I think I said it already, but 3.5 total for the whole takeover. I felt like it was very warranted.
Yes.
Very fun to watch. I know we didn't actually watch this one together, but I feel like I still felt your spirit.
Yes.
When we were watching it.
And it's actually fun because I like how like even apart, we still had similar, but not completely identical views
Mhm.
on situation. Like me with Kyle O'Reilly, I was like, "What is this? What's happening here?"
And I'm
But
like, I love him.
you were like, "Yay!" But I feel like those are important to have every once in a while to have a little variation. So
Absolutely.
yes,
But so David, I'm gonna throw it to you. What's going on with Long Walk Productions right now?
Oh, not much of anything at all.
That's a lie, and you know it.
Well, no, it's really not, sadly. I can tell you that Long Walk Podcast is rapidly approaching its 100th episode across all 4 of our podcasts.
It sure is, yeah.
So that's going to be coming up in January. We have one more film to go on our Quentin Tarantino Quarantino retrospective, where we're talking about his entire filmography, and that's going to be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
nice.
So I actually have not seen that movie.
Oh, you have to. I highly recommend it.
So I'm definitely gonna watch it before the episode comes out,
Do
so
it.
that way I can
Do
listen.
it.
Yeah.
And I've got Katie and I recorded another Long Walk Teeny Talk that's going to be coming out right
Teeny
around
Talk.
the corner. But as far as actual business goes, no.
Aw.
It's just as slow as the rest of this year has been, sadly.
Well, you got all your awesome podcasts that you're doing, so
I do. It's
that can keep you going at night. So,
so if people want to lightly stalk you on Instagram, where can they find you?
oh, please lightly stalk me. I welcome it. It's fine. If you want to lightly stalk me on Instagram, my handle is SlayAllRay, all lowercase.
And Gina, how about you? Where can people lightly stalk you at?
Yes. Also, I want to make a note about this. I actually wrote this down. I forgot that my Instagram is locked or private. However, if you message me, just let me know you're a podcast fan, because if you're somebody that I don't know or recognize, I'm sorry, it's not me being mean. Like, I just, I want to know. So you can follow me at Broadway_baby1218. Yeah, high school. What's fine? What's up?
No, but that's actually a really good point, Gina. Because
it is. I am a private person, but just DM me and be like, "Hey, I want to follow you because I'm a podcast fan," and I'll be like, "Cool, you got this. Here we go."
Well, that goes for me as well, because I know I have gotten a few like that as well. So if you are a fan of the show and you are DMing us because of the show, just tell us. So that way we can follow each other and we can all be connected that way. So that's actually a really good point. Yeah.
Oh, my Instagram is not private. You can follow me. I don't give a shit. You can lightly stalk me on Instagram at DB Hensley. You can find out more about Long Walk Productions online at longwalk.us. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/longwalkpro. And you can also search for Long Walk Podcasts on Facebook to like that page and keep up with more of our work. And if you enjoy the show, please make sure to leave us a rating and a review on whatever platform you are listening on. So, Shelby, take us home.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening, and we hope that we will be in your ear holes a lot sooner than this, but the next Takeover is supposed to be in March. It's supposed to go with WrestleMania, so Takeover Los Angeles. They're saying there's going to be people there in March. We have no idea, but we'll see. So hopefully we will be with you guys sooner rather than later. But for This Is the Takeover, I'm Shelby Ray Patterson.
And I'm Gina Belmont.
And just so you know, you don't have to be called up to the main roster. You're doing just fine where you are.
All right. Thank you very much for listening.